Okay, in this video, we're going to build some 18-inch by 18-inch boxes. We're going to use those for little raised planter beds for things like squash and cucumbers, watermelons, cantaloupes, pumpkins, things that take a lot of room, are real viney, but they need a mounded spot to begin with, and then so we'll have it up above the ground and they'll grow real well. So I'm going to build 5 of them here really quick. The 5th one I may get a little tricky and might make it a 6-sided one instead of just a 4-sided figure, but we'll see. So I'm going to cut these up right now. So I'm going to cut them in 18-inch lengths in one direction, and then I'm going to cut them in 16.5-inch lengths in the other direction. The shorter ones will go on the inside of the box, and then the longer ones will go outside. So over, they'll be 18 by 18. So here we go. We're going to use the chop saw today to do this, the radial arm chop saw. You can use any other skill saw or cordless saw. They work just as well, but this is much faster and easier. So we're going to go ahead and cut these up into lengths. And so you're going to need screws, 1 5/8 exterior deck screws, some T50 staples. You'll need some 1x8 redwood, 6 foot long. You'll need some stakes, redwood stakes, and some 1/2 by 1/2 wire. Total per 18-inch by 18-inch raised planter bed, it's going to run about $16 or so to make each one of these. So really inexpensive, really easy to make. I should be able to throw all these together here in about a half an hour, 45 minutes, all 5 of them. So let's get started. So we'll take the measurement and we'll just measure out 18 inches. Move it over, line up the saw. Move my tape so I don't cut it. Okay, we'll keep these different piles. Don't get them confused. And we'll just keep the material's 3/4 of an inch wide, so times 2, that's 1.5 inches. So you'd subtract that from 18 since these go in the middle, in between. Decided to make this 5th one a little more complicated. This is a little more advanced. Still pretty easy to do, especially if you have a radial arm chop saw. So we're going to make a hexagon, a 6-sided figure, and we're going to have 6 pieces. We're going to do them all 18 inches long, but they're going to have angle cuts. So any circle, square, hexagon, pentagon, all those, when you add up all the angles, 360 degrees, same as the circle, right? So the hexagon has got 6 points to it, so it's got 6 angles. So when you divide 6 into 360, you get 60 degrees. So each board that comes together will be 30 degrees and 30 degrees, which will be 60 times 6. So we're going to set the radial arm chop saw to 30 degrees, and we're going to start making cuts. So in order to get the most out of the board, we're going to start this way, all the way, and we'll flip the board back and forth. So you want to bring right up to the edge. We can maximize, make sure it's square on the table, so we can maximize its length out of this. So we'll come over here to 18 inches, and we'll mark 18. Now you can flip this saw will go back and forth, but to make it easier for the video, I'm just going to flip this board around back and forth. And so we'll bring it up to the line. Okay, that's one, so they got angle cuts. So now we'll flip this board over. It's already cut on that angle for us. Measure 18 again. protector hangs up on. So, all right, we'll flip that around. And we'll measure 18 inches. Now for this last cut, I'm going to show you how to do it with the cordless saw. In case you don't have a radial arm saw, it's still doable. So you'll get your square, you'll measure your 18 inches. Mark it out with a pencil. Now these also, you can adjust the degrees on it. So again, we're doing 30 degrees. So you set it to 30 degrees, tand it, and so you just start to saw it. And there you go. You can still cut a nice beveled edge with a saw the same way. So now we have our 6-sided box that we're going to make. And we've got the 5 little 18-inch boxes we're going to put together. These 4 that are square and the one that's a 6-sided hexagon. And we'll do that one last. I'll just get through these real quick. So they're separated into the 18-inch and 16.5 inch. So separate them out accordingly, and we'll just start screwing them together. Now, redwood tends to split. These are pretty wet still from the lumber yard, but I like to start about 1.5 inches up. About 3/4 of an inch over, which is about the edge here, but then I angle it slightly to reduce the likelihood of it splitting. These are self-tapping screws, so that also helps. All right, there's one that just took a couple minutes to put together, and then let's do the next one. All right, so we got the short sides and the long sides this way, and the long side that way. Long side laps over. Make sure we like our tops and bottoms. All right, there's 2. All right, that's all 4 of those square ones. Now, the 6-sided guy. We just want to line up the edges. We're just going to have to angle our screws a little bit differently, that's all. So we just work down each side. Make sure they're lined up good. These are a little more important to line up. Otherwise the shape will be all funky by the time you get to the last piece or so. So we just work our way around, and really the best thing to do with these, which I should have done on this one, is to put a screw each way, because it's not getting as good of a bite, and this will help hold it together better. Just offset the screws slightly so they don't run into each other. Go in a nice tight corner a little bit. you've got your 6-sided planter box. Much bigger. We'll probably maybe use that for a couple of pumpkins, or we'll see. So in a few minutes we'll come back and we'll put the wire mesh on the bottoms. So we've got these done. Pick which one's the bottom, and we'll put the wire mesh on the bottom so that they're rodent proof. Roll it out to the other side. Make sure we're square. There we go. We'll cut it, it's about an inch and a half over. Alright, and we'll staple it off. These are small, so you can go any direction. About every 4 to 6 inches. Alright, then we'll cut these back to the corners so we can fold them over. Now if you want to cut some of this excess off, you can. I'll go ahead and do it just so that it's an even inch and a half or so all the way around. You don't have to do this, you can save time. These are going to have ground cover, mulch around them. Eventually it's going to hide all of it, but we can go ahead and do it now. That way at least they're square all the way around. Cut these quickly, that's where these right-handed shears come into play. If you haven't watched my other video on the 6.5 or the 6 foot by 18.5 inch, I talked more about these shears. All right, so we can bend these over, get ready to staple them. Sometimes it's a little bit challenging. There's a knot right there. There we go. Boy, that one's being stubborn. There we go. Fold that over. Throw a couple staples in it, hold it in place. And I forgot to staple these. Okay, oop, missed. All right, now we've got an 18 inch by 18 inch. Oh, missed that one. there's those 4. We'll get the 6-sided one ready here, and we'll do that one next. Because we made it an 18-inch octagon. It's almost 3 feet in diameter. It's about 32 inches or so. So we had to buy a 3-foot wide roll. So I just bought a short 5-footer, which is a little more expensive than if I would have bought it, but this is the only thing I'm gonna need it for. So we're gonna go ahead and get it centered on here. And tack it in place. And roll it out. Try to get it even, approximately across here. There we go. Trim it. Well, let's staple it off first. Okay, now that we got the bottom stapled off, I'm going to trim it to size. Kind of got to eyeball it because you won't be able to follow the grids. Just keep it about 1.5 to 2 inches away. Alright, now we got it. Now we can cut it back at the corners, kind of at an angle, same as the corners. Fold it in. Alright, now we can go around, fold it down. And we'll stand her up and staple it off. All right. Now we got a nice little hexagon to add some character to our garden. So we'll go put these in place and I'll show you how to install them. Okay, we've got our boxes that we made laid out. We're going to go ahead and get them staked up in place. So we got the wire mesh. We got to cut little spaces out of the wire mesh so that we can get our stakes through. We want to make sure to keep them tight so it doesn't allow space for any rodents to get through. So it's just enough to get the stakes through. using the stake as kind of a guide, the measurement to where I should cut the wire. As long as the gap's not more than about a ½ inch, 3/4, especially even up to an inch, you're not going to get moles and voles that can get through that, and they'll stay away from the sharp wire, and it'll keep them out of your box. We still need to level these boxes, but we will get the stakes driven in the corners, and then we'll get to level it up. And that stake broke. So I soaked these stakes in water. As I mentioned earlier, redwood splits relatively easily, so that'll happen occasionally. All right, let's get them leveled out. All right, on to the next one. All right, next one. Okay, we've got those 3 screwed in place, leveled out. We'll move over to the other 2 in the other row of the orchard, and we'll put those in place. All right, now we've got them all in place. We'll throw some dirt in them. They'll be ready for irrigation and planting. All right, let's get them filled up. We're using Miracle-Gro. You can use other things if you want. If you're more into organic gardening, I usually am, but kind of pressed for time and I don't have my compost set up. So we're gonna go ahead and use the store-bought Miracle-Gro. As long as you don't put pesticides and stuff on your plants, you know, this doesn't make a whole lot of difference in the quality of your vegetables. So feel free to use this. All right, we'll finish off these 3 rows and then we'll be done with this video. In the next video, I'll show you how to run irrigation to these spots so that it's a no-brainer. You can grow all the vegetables you want without even having to think about it. So here we go, let's fill these up. All right, there you go. Planted 5 planter boxes. All the materials for all 5 planter boxes were less than $100. If you want to include the soil, each bag, I got it on sale at Home Depot, 4 for 10 bucks. We used, I think, 12 bags. So, I mean, for like $150, you have 5 really nice planter boxes so you can plant your viney plants like pumpkins, cantaloupes, watermelon, squash, any of those, cucumbers. So I'm going to probably be putting all of those in this area right here so that hopefully we can have some fresh fruits and vegetables for the summer. If you liked this video, please subscribe to my channel, like the video and share. I appreciate you spending the time with me today. Thank you and God bless you.